Hello there. We're back. Today's video is we're going to dive into the Darth Vader costume and how you can make one 500 first approve for under $1,000. Uh, like I said in my past video, there's guys out there that have a lot of money and they're amazing costumes, but I'm very proud of mine, and I have roughly 750 in mine. And I've not trooped with anybody that I felt like theirs was just light and day better than mine. I mean, might have certain pieces that I'm like, but so anyway, here we go. Um, I will say on this, when I bought this Ruby's costume, um, I was like, I seen other people were able to modify them and get them improved. I'm thinking, I'm pretty crafty. I should be able to do the same. And so I started looking it over, and I'm thinking, okay, we can keep this. That definitely isn't going to work. One of the first things I scrapped was the gloves, because the gloves that came with that kit were they were very cheap, and they were not going to work, especially with me wanting to do Darth Vader from A New Hope. So that right there was the first thing I scrapped. Um, Through the forums and through the different pages, I was able to hook up with indoor finders. And man, oh man, he does amazing gloves. His A New Hope glove is, um, it's well worth the money. And as you can see, I mean, it's just, it is awesome. I mean, you put them on, you feel the power immediately. It's like, first time I got them in the mail, I was like a little kid. I put them on, I was like, oh. I mean, they are just, that's a if you're doing A New Hope anyway, this is that's what it's all about. I mean, they're just, yeah, they're amazing gloves. So that was money that was well invested for on my part for the costume. That was the first piece that I really went after. Second piece, not so cheap, but most impressive. Um, the helmet from Ruby's was Darth Vader. I mean, it was a good little costume helmet, but not gonna fly for 500 first. Not gonna fly because they want the best of the best. So, um, talking to other people and finding out, one of the things about the helmets is, one, it needs to look the part, but two, trooping, putting that thing on and off. Some of these fiberglass helmets get heavy, and I hear a lot of guys complain about that. And so I was hunting the EFX Darth Vader and New Hope PCR model, and price was all over the place. 300s. Well, I lucked out on eBay, found a guy that sold it for 250. Bought it, got it, and as soon as I took it out of the box, I was just blown away. I mean, it's this is Darth Vader. I mean, this is my Darth Vader. Um, and it's lightweight, and oh my god, like I said, three pieces to my Darth Vader costume that I just fanboy about. The helmet, the gloves I just showed you, and then I don't know if you can see it hanging on my door right there, my cape by Kelly Jo Boyd. Oh my god, I can't praise her enough. That cape is amazing. I mean, that's an amazing cape. She does amazing work. She offers different weights of capes. I went with a lightweight cape because, again, trooping. being trooping and you see the amount of hours you're on your feet, how hot it gets sometimes. Because it's one thing to do an outdoor troop in fall or winter versus a con, doing like a Planet Comic Con, where there's hundreds of people jammed into a building. It gets hot. It gets hot real fast. So to keep the great look, I went with her lightweight cape, and that cost me $225. But man, it is impressive, very impressive. I've had some. I'll put some pictures up. I got this. I was lucky to get this really good back shot of like Vader looking out in the distance, with the cape flared out. Oh man, beautiful cape. I can't. Kelly, thank you. Amazing cape. So back to the costume. So my three favorites: my helmet, my gloves, and my cape. Those are my favorites. When it came to I knew I was gonna have to modify the chest box, because the one it comes with is geared towards Revenge of the Sith and not A New Hope. So what I did was I took what Ruby's had and made it better. So I took it comes with a nylon string, and I wrapped some of the leather I took off another costume. I wrapped it and glued it, so it's fully wrapped and fully glued with Gorilla Glue to cover what you're going to see outside the chest armor, the shoulder armor. So you see this leather, and I even put the little rivets for A New Hope. You can see it there in the video, on both sides and the bottom ones, or the side ones, I should say, that wrap around. Hold it up a little bit there. There you go. And it wraps around my neck, clips up here. You just put it on like that, and then you just clip this around back, so you're good to go. I've seen different ones out there. There's some amazing boxes out there, but I'm like, I already got this one. Why spend? So first thing I did, took the batteries out of it because I don't need to light up. Wrapped it in the leather, put the rivets in it. Then I took my Dremel and cut the little light boxes out. Had some leftover Centra. Cut me out 2 squares, or rectangles. Red, green. Glued them on. Repainted and weathered. Silver paint. Repainted my buttons down here in the grays with the one white button. And there we go. There we go. So that's the chest box. I know I'm jumping all over here. We'll go to the belt. So a lot of different people sell belts. The belt that comes with the rubies is nylon with some foam to make it look wider. So the only thing I used off that was the belt boxes. I kept the boxes, which my boxes are on backwards. Sorry. So while I got the box in my hand, we'll go to the box. So I was like, we'll keep the box. And according to 500 First, okay, the boxes need to be weathered, which I did. I weathered them. 2 green lights. The screen down here has to have a washer on that light right there, and which I just found me a small washer to go around that light, glued it in place, and then it has to have red washers around the knobs, which, if you can see it, I'll turn the light off on it. Okay, so that if you can see, I did not put red washers on there. What I did do is get O-rings that would fit these at your local hardware store. They're cheap, really, really cheap. I bought I don't know what I bought a bunch just in case I messed up. I hit them with some red paint, and I found out the more coat you put on it, the better. So hit them, let them dry, hit them again, let them dry. Came back, put them in place, and boom, there you go. That's one of my little hidden gem tricks that I got, was the washer on the light and the red O-rings on that. Now, again, feel free to go out and buy. They've got some really nice boxes with bright LED lights. They're gonna look cool, but I'm kind of a purist. I'm thinking they didn't have LED lights back in '77. This costume wasn't that advanced as some of these guys are making them now. To where I've seen some that are just super bright. I I knew his lit up. You could tell it lit up, but it wasn't. I mean, they didn't have LED technology back then, so I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. That's just money I don't need to waste on this. So that's my box. The belt, I, again, being crafty, I went to my local Salvation Army and found one. Just a little, like a man's work belt. It's got the double holes, found one, and I wear it backwards, is how I wear my belt. So another piece I saved from the rubies was the belt buckle. Had to modify it. You're going to find out that this little hole right here on the rubies is too wide. So if you can see, I filled it and left it just a perfect little square. This, when I first submitted my costume to the 501st, this was the only thing that I got a message back on that I needed to fix. This. So I had to take this off, fill that, and boom, I was approved. It took me a lot to get my Obi-Wan approved through the Rebel Legion. It took me probably 6 back and forth getting turned down, saying fix this, change that, do this, do that, But on my Vader, 1, and it was this little square. So heads up, if you're going to use the rubies buckle, which you can, you're going to have to fill that in to where it's just one little square. And if you can see my washer, same at the hardware store when I got my O-rings for my belt boxes, I know this is on backwards, which I was called out on this. It's a different world when you troop, when you're getting dressed, because sometimes you have to get dressed in some closets, bathrooms, your own car. So you're rushed, and my last time out with Vader, I was rushed, and I put my boxes on backwards. I'm sorry. No kid noticed. No adult noticed. Nobody said, "Hey, your boxes." But one of the guys on the Darth Vader forum had to call me out on it. So thanks for noticing that. But anyway, back to this. I found a little plug in the hardware section. I was able to cut it and not cut the round. It was the perfect round that I was looking for. Just cut the legs off of it, the back of it, and glue it down. And boom. It's not the billet looking like a lot of them have, but it's approved. It's 501st approved. And so, and my next thing is my belt hook. I took a key holder and dremeled the tar out of it. And then some rivets I had left over from my Obi-Wan Kenobi belt that I made, which I'm going to do a video on my Obi-Wan. I'm going to do a video on all my costumes for you guys. I had some leftover rivets. Boom. There it is. 501st approved belt. And I also notched it for my belt boxes, so I wouldn't have to have that boxes sliding. I didn't want to mount the box to the belt. I wanted to be able to take it off for battery purposes, changing the batteries out, which is important. So my belts go on and off, and then I know exactly where to put them, right there in those little gouges I cut into it. So So that's the belt. Excuse me. So, I think I'll leave you with my shoulder armor for this video. There's a lot of good companies out there making it. I use my rubies. I left the black section original. Didn't touch it. I just kind of scuffed it to make it look kind of worn. Scuffed and painted the sections that needed to be painted. I used a Krylon gunmetal gray and painted the bells, and went back over it and dry brushed some black to kind of give it that worn look, which I think it looks amazing especially when I put them on. They're lightweight, they're not heavy. I love them. I don't have anything holding them down because once you put your robe over these, because a New Hope, you wear your robe over these. I don't need anything to hold them down. So that's what I did for the paint wise. Now on the ends, New Hope, you have to have the raised black sections here. And I found down in my workshop, I had bought some foam from the hardware store to seal a window seal, and I was like, wow, that's about the right width and thickness. It's a little thicker than I wanted it, but not to where it's like. So I tested on there. I was like, wow, that looks. I'm very impressed with that. I glued it down, and it has not came off yet, and it is 501st approved. And there you have it. There's my chest armor. You're going to find that if you can be crafty and save yourself a lot of money. So that's a wrap on this video. I'm going to come back and we'll talk about the undersuit and the robes and capes. So thanks for listening, and see you next time.